Connection established. Cyberdyne Systems. Go.
And I like that they feel like they need to let me know they're going through that process.
Yeah.
All right, looks like you're up.
Good evening, everyone. It's Rob with MMORPG.com. Tonight we are playing World of Warplanes. And I'm lucky to have Muggsy, one of the community specialists over there at wargaming.net, to come hang out with us tonight and answer some questions.
Thank you very much for having me, dude.
You're welcome. And I just sound looped us there for a second, so I apologize if anybody heard that twice. You're not going to believe me because it went away from the score screen, but I do promise you I've never played this game before except one time. It was right before we went live. And if you convert seconds to flight hours, I've got about 30,000 flight hours in my mind.
Nice.
But I fought with my biplane, I blew another plane up, and then I went and hid in a corner until it autopiloted me and made me correct me back on the map, and I just went back to the corner. And I ended the match 1-0. I have the best kill rating in the world.
That's right.
Suck it, Internet. I win.
100% win rate.
Yes, exactly. Can't stop this. All right. So, anyways, enough about me and my spectacular win rate. Let's talk a little bit about World of Warplanes. So, World of Warplanes hasn't been out too long yet, and you guys just had your first update about 10 days ago, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's 1.1.
And 1.1 was a massive update for us. Like it touched so many things. It had so much content in it. So it was a great update.
Okay, well, let's go ahead, I guess, and just, since the game hasn't been out too long, let's just give everybody a general introduction to what is World of Warplanes.
So World of Warplanes is it's a sort of online 15 first 15 battle game. It's based in the sort of golden age of aviation. Everything from early, basically most of the planes are during late World War One or World War II. They sort of go all the way up to the Korean, I think they go up to the Korean War era. And they start as early as the Spanish Civil War. And so we have biplanes up to single engine jets, all the way up to, semi-modern jets, or at least like the predecessors of modern jet propulsion. So it's similar to World of Tanks. So if you've played World of Tanks, it's a tier-based system. So biplanes never fight jets. Every battle you're earning credits and experience, and you're using that currency to research and unlock new planes, new equipment, new guns, new modules. A lot of customization.
Let's quickly touch on that. One of the things you notice when you first log in now on the splash screen is that you guys are integrating the World of Tank accounts with, I guess, the World of Warplane accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're starting to share, I noticed, experience across the two. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and how that can impact the players?
So we just set up this, we're sort of creating these unified wargaming accounts, and basically your free experience, which is something I'll explain in a moment, your credits, and different shared resources between accounts. So what that means is I can go and I can play World of Tanks, and I can earn some credits or experience and actually use it in World of Warplanes and vice versa.
So I can blow things up with tanks and then go and increase my biplane skills.
True.
Interesting.
Absolutely. And we have what's called premium vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So we have premium tanks and premium planes. And you don't have a battle benefit or advantage to flying a premium or rolling out a premium. But you can accumulate free experience. And this experience is transferable to other lines, other planes. And you can use that free experience in planes or tanks.
So I guess that is worth noting is that all the games so far from in the World of series are microtransaction-based games, so there's no cost to download and install the client, but there is, like you said, premium currency that I guess, I think, was it the ammo initially, but now it's not the ammo, it's...
Yeah, we've done a really good job of removing sort of any pay-to-win elements to our games. And now it's free to play, 100% access to all the content, and you don't get any in-battle benefits. You can't purchase any. So once you're in a flight or you're battling it out, you're on totally level ground with anybody else.
I'm
or in
saving my life.
in this case, level altitude. Nice.
Oh, I was trying to live. He finally got me. You know, you had a really...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You had a really good insight off stream before we actually started about, you know, trying to relate World of Warplanes to an MMO or to RPG fans. And I wondered if you could share that story with the audience and not just
oh, yeah.
have me try and retell it, because you did a much better job.
This is a conversation we have in the office a lot, because we say, like, especially in, like, a clear example is in World of Tanks, you know, you have these different classes. And I'm very, like, everyone's been trained and groomed to know how to play a road, how to play a scout, how to play, you know what I mean? And so we try to think of in those terms when we're explaining to people how to use different classes of these military vehicles. You know, we often get categorized as an MMORPG. And so some of our features that sort of fall in line with that is you have this kind of virtual career as a hangar manager. You can, you know, earn experience, and then you can spend that on either attributes, or you can train your crew, or you can give your crew skills, or you can customize your vehicles. So I think that those are the things you can do in our games that touch on like that RPG, that role playing kind of. I hope that makes sense.
Oh, it does. You can. For me, when I'm playing an RPG, it's all about the character development, whether it be massively scaled or not. And what you're equating that to in these is upgrading where your hangar of craft are your actual player characters, and you get to upgrade them and your crewmen and different things like that. So I see where the parallel lies, kind of like my carcass of my P12 lies on that previous battlefield.
Well, I think, like in our games, our vehicles, you're absolutely right. Our vehicles are our main characters. And the narrative is, sort of your experience researching down these tech trees and seeing how aviation technology actually progressed. And it's very interesting as, some of our planes are actually like schematic planes that never truly existed. And so you get to have this sort of what if type scenarios. A lot of times in arms races, like for tanks or planes, the competitiveness between nations would be so accelerated that by the time you're done designing a plane, it is obsolete for the battlefield, and you have to immediately drop a project and move on to something that can be more competitive. So we are lucky enough that in this sort of fictional world, we can have these blueprint planes, and there's a lot of really cool ones in our game.
I am currently going after a ground target. Is this, I would imagine, some kind of anti-aircraft target here? One of the objectives. Probably shouldn't be firing at it with a machine gun on my plane, I think.
With a light fighter.
Yeah, probably the wrong weapon.
A lot of those guys, you can strap bombs to those planes, or so in the game, in the battle, you have your light fighters, which are like your turn-based, like super agile dogfighting, little furball scrappy planes, which for me they're my favorite. They're so fun. And then you have heavy fighters, which are like more heavily armed, more powerful guns, but they're not as.
You'll see the laugh here in a minute.
Okay. Did you collide with an enemy?
Head on, buddy.
Oh man.
You know what though? That's a 1-to-1.
Nice. That's target fixation. That's awesome.
We played chicken. We both won and both lost, but now I look at it.
Awesome. I earlier had a really, really funny collision with a teammate. In that three-dimensional space, it's just easy to get fixated on the thing you're chasing and then just collide with friends. Yeah,
I think for a second we'll sit here and watch some of the other people play, and maybe they're better than I am, so we can not watch some deaths. But you were saying that, in an arms race, you got to build up, and the technology's going so fast, by the time you actually get these weapons of war into production, they're outdated, just like technologies today. By the time you get a computer sitting on your desk, it's there's something better. I think this guy's dead too.
Well, sometimes I am tasked with another collision. Sometimes I am tasked with streaming and talking, and with tanks, it's okay. You can kind of move to a rock and sit there and express your thoughts, and then create. But in planes, you're constantly moving, and it's so difficult to fly and talk. I just get like people just hear me mouth breathing and like making grunts.
So what's the big allure for you, I guess, for World of Warplanes?
You know, for me, especially like I said, I like the furball dogfighting. It's like it's so emotionally gratifying when you have a great battle. Like I'm just like, yes. So that's the ultimate payoff for me.
I'm bad luck because I'm like, as soon as I start sitting on these guys, they start getting attacked. This guy's getting plinked from behind. There you go. I'll get my kiss of death. I'll get no. He's still gonna. Oh, this is a different guy. Oh, look at this Brit.
Your camera's
and he's getting killed now. That's him, by the way, not me. He's the one that's flying at an awkward angle. If I make you spectators nauseous, I do apologize. All right, let's go back to the hangar.
I like the damage model when it starts to get like holes and you can see through the wings.
Yeah.
Super fun.
And it's right about that time you start falling out of the sky. So I've done a P-12, done a P-21. I like the biplanes just for the feel. So let's try, I guess, the F3F. Have you played that one?
Yeah, I actually was able to go down both the American lines. Those are super fun.
Yeah.
And they're obviously very iconic. I mean, you have the Corsair on one side, the Mustang on the other. I don't know if there's any aviation nerds in the group, but
that's actually what I was looking for, is the P-53, but I didn't see it. I'm gonna go past it.
We have the P-51, which is one of the versions of the Mustang.
Yeah, it's right here.
I think we have the A, the D, and the H.
It's Finn McMissile. Wait, no.
And then you could go through, if you click, once you pick a plane you like, you could click on the upgrades and services, and you could look at the equipment you could put on it, and you could even go into your paint shop and change the paint scheme it has, and add nose art. And, you know, nose art, I think, is what makes those fighter planes super iconic.
Without a doubt. Pin-up girls all over nose art.
So we started talking about those ground targets that you were going after. We have several classes that you can play as. So you've been choosing straightforward fighters, super fun. But we also have the heavy fighters. We have which are higher altitude planes that sort of boom and zoom. They drop down, attack, and climb back up. The turn fighters tend to circle, turn and burn. And then we have the ground attack aircraft, which knock out ground targets. And the way that these impact the battle is the more ground targets you take out, you start to accumulate like this sort of, it's called superiority mode. And you basically can win just by eliminating ground targets for your team. But it also disrupts the enemy's anti-air gun accuracy, and you can take out their headquarters. And so the ground attack planes are super influential, especially after this most recent update.
Yeah, that was one of my big questions, actually, before we started talking about it, was in 1.1, you guys added a couple more ground maps, and it's like, well, you know, it hasn't really integrated with World of Tanks yet, so what's the point of really having different ground maps other than having a different coat of paint underneath you when you're fighting in a three-dimensional space?
And that was a huge challenge for, you know, wargaming when we moved from that 2D plane of tanks to this 3D spaces. How do we make the maps compelling and relevant? And that ground attack strategy is a part of it. There is an aspect, to be fair, of like my favorite thing is on National Park. There's a waterfall followed by like an immediate valley, and it feels like the run on the Death Star. You know, where you're in that like that like, you know, and enemies are trying to follow you, but they're smashing on the walls beside you. And so if you're a small, low-altitude plane, you can have a lot of fun, you know, hugging, you know, the ground itself.
Well, I think we're going to go and get real low down here and fly throughout this valley just to do it and see how long we live. And get our kill ratio back up.
And that bridge on the map you're on is actually destructible, that little bridge you're looking at.
Over here?
So I have seen them use the bridge to kill enemies.
Really?
Yeah.
Intriguing.
It's a coordinated feat. So the interesting thing for me about World of Warplanes is I really look at it as almost like three distinct play styles in one game. The biplanes are very